What is going on? My Reefing Fan March here. This is Fragbox TV. Welcome back to the channel if you are new. Hello, welcome, bonjour, hola, all of those fun things. Hold on, before we get started, look, coffee machine, it's all set up and working. I'm still learning how to use it. Espresso? How ramped up do you want March on this? Let's do a double. Yeah, let's get really excited. Guys, enjoy coffee when you come in the store. This was set up for you guys. This is for you. Go ahead. I'm still learning how to use it, but enjoy one when you come in the shop. Okay, that thing's making a lot of noise. We got in a bunch of new corals from Australia, as you can see, from down under. I'm not even going to try doing an Australian accent, but I love Australian accents. Check it out. Isn't it nice? It's so satisfying when the tank is just full from corner to corner. And what's really surprising is that in a couple weeks this is going to be all empty, and then we're going to do it again. We have another one coming from Indonesia. Huge order. Coffee's almost ready there. And then I'm going to head off to Germany May 3rd. So if you're German and you live in Germany, Auf Wiedersehen, maybe we can meet up. I'm going to be doing a road trip. Anyways, let's see. Let's grab this. We'll try. Oh my god. Okay, maybe that was not the right decision. Oh, that is a lot of caffeine. Hold on, let me chug this. Okie dokie, where do we start? Let's start on number 1. Bubble coral. First is the worst. No, actually, one of the best. Love this coral. Bubble coral really looks unlike any other coral out there. You can see where it gets its name from because it looks like a bubble. Bubble coral, bubble coral, bubble coral. I guess bubble tip anemones. They're kind of bubbly. Let me show you right over here. I'll try to keep the camera as steady as I can because I know you guys get motion sickness. And if you're watching, the people who stole our rock of anemones, I haven't talked about it yet on any videos because I'm saving it, and I'm waiting for the new cameras to go in this weekend outside the store so we can catch your license plates as you roll up. What did you think? I'm not going to notice that you took our big rock full of anemones? Okay, anyways, I'm going to talk about that in another video before I get too mad in this one. But bubble tips kind of look like bubble corals. You know what? It's not the first time someone's taken something from the store. I hope it's the last time, but I'm afraid to say it probably won't be. Yellow, golden, flecky, speckly mushrooms. Those are just fantastic. Anytime we get 2 colors in Discosoma, it's pretty neat because this type of mushroom coral, really easy to keep, by the way. Discosoma or disco mushrooms, usually it's just one color. They're kind of flat, kind of bland, you know, like Gordon Ramsay. If I was walking around and criticizing the tank on it based on its skills, it's just bland, man. It's just bland. There's no life. There's no flavor. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that to you, mushrooms. You're very nice people. Okay, Indonesian golden torch. These are from our last order. They've been here a while, actually, long time. So you're really not taking any sort of chance if you're buying these. What do I mean by taking a chance? Sometimes when you buy torch corals that are fresh, that have just come in, they're a little, I'm just gonna say they're a little iffy. They're a little touch and go. They're a little sensitivo. They might perish on you. But these have stood the test of time. They have been here for quite a few months now, and they're looking great. They're free from any pests. We've dipped them. They've gone through a bacterial dip. They've gone through a 2 Little Fishies Revive coral dip, and they look fantastic. But anyways, those are not from this shipment. So let's keep moving. We'll go over here and look at number 11. What is that number? A lot of people think it's the price. It's not. This corresponds to our website, which will then show you the price. So one of the things that really bothered me when I used to shop in stores like this, we're in Toronto, by the way, if you didn't know where we are, in Canada, is walking into a store and not seeing prices, and I witnessed people changing prices on me based on the car I drove, and I freaking hated it. So if you scan this thing here, I want transparency. I'm also a little OCD, so I want things organized. So, you know, if someone says, hey, can you grab me Elegance number 23, I know exactly what he's talking about. It helps with the online. It helps with the pricing. Someone literally just the other day was telling me how he went to another store in Toronto. I'm not going to name the store because I'm not like that, but the prices change. He called for a price on a fish. When he showed up, the price was more expensive because he recognized who he is and he knows he has money. That is really messed up. But that's not what today's video is about. Anyways, it's about Duncan Coral. And this was the whole reason, this was the whole point of this order, was Duncan Coral, because I noticed that we didn't have any in the store, and this is quite a bread and butter. This is a standard piece. Oh man, the lights are out now, but we used to have a nice big one right in this missing spot. Oh, poor clownfish. They were hosting it. Now they're hosting the frog spawn. Right in there, we had a big Duncan Coral. I noticed that we were out in the store, and so I went and fraggied the whole thing up. It's just one of my favorite LPS corals. I think because it's easy. I'm really drawn to corals that are easy to keep. They're easy for us. They're easy for hobbyists. I love when we sell people a frag and then it ends up turning into a colony like this one right here. You get lots of movement from the current. They're inexpensive. They do well in high light, low light. They can take the flow. So if you want to put closer to a power head, I'm always ranting and raving about Duncan Coral. They have an amazing feeding response. They'll eat just about everything. They're not picky eaters and they're non-aggressive. They don't sting anything around them. So you see it's touching this toadstool here. I actually have 2 colonies in this tank. They look like a big waving sort of willow tree. Now in terms of color, we have a couple different ones here, but they're more or less the same. So we also get 2, look at this, actually, this is kind of cool. Look at the skeleton that's on this one here. It's pretty neat. It's like an iridescent, no, it's like a toxic green. This is a branching type, but when I say branching, it's not really a scientific term. It's not a different Latin name. It's just kind of like this different nuanced growth structure that I find over the years, that there's branching ones, and then sometimes we get them kind of like in a cluster, but they're more or less the same Duncan. And then in terms of color, this is pretty standard here. We get that beautiful green kind of hue and then purple on the tentacles. But sometimes, if we're lucky, we'll find them in different colors like this, almost like a blue kind of color. Now this one has a little bit more of a stubby tentacle where these ones are longer, but that's more or less the standard color that you're going to see for Duncan. They're kind of in the same hue, like the kind of same range. We're never going to find a yellow. I've never seen red or orange. Here's another one. This is kind of cool. We got like white in the center in the mouth, and then green, and then purple. But man, I can't say enough good things about Duncan. Really, the whole reason for the order was to get some of that in. And look at these, elegance. Boom, absolutely love these corals. We get these really cool black and purple sort of striations, really nice contrast against the green, tealy kind of green color, and really healthy. This one, not so hot. It showed up this way, but I have a suspicion that this is old death. This was already not healthy when my supplier sent it. Why do I say that? Because usually when they die during shipping, you have a very white, very bleached color. This is a little bit dirtier and it's already dark, so this kind of indicates to me that it was probably already suffering, and maybe they bagged it in a hurry. I wouldn't have sent it, but anyways, we'll continue on with the healthy ones because they are looking really, really good, especially this one here, number 25. Beautiful, like yellow tip, almost like a black skirt, and not too big. What do I mean when I say not too big? So when we get them from Indonesia, they're massive, 6 to 8 inches across. So if you got a smaller tank, like maybe a Reef Casa Studio 12, ta-da, and you got a big Elegance, 8, 9, 10 inches, it's gonna go, you know, from one end to the other. It's gonna look a little bit out of place. It's gonna look ridiculous. Not if it's like this size, like a clam. Actually, if you want this clam, it is up for grabs. It's on our site. It's only about 4 inches. Then it's a little bit more manageable. A lot of people have nano tanks. You can end up enjoying a beautiful Elegance coral. Okay, what do we have on this side over here? I think we have some funky looking like sponge. I think it's a sponge. It's pretty neat. And maybe some yellow carnation. I've never tried keeping these long term, but if you want to give it a shot, here is your chance. So what else do we have? Let's go this way. Lobo, L-O-B-O, Lobo. I think I'm burping from the coffee. Lobophilia is the full name, but we usually just call it Lobo. Very aggressive coral. But up until recently, I didn't know that you could actually group them together. Someone blew my mind on Instagram. He has a garden of these ones, Australian varieties, and they're really cool. They're kind of like big, colorful donut corals. That's what I'm going to call them. Big, colorful donuts. Some beautiful flower pot. Now we've got a ton of these actually, flower pots and alveopores. A lot of different colors and variations that I've never seen before, and I'm very tempted to keep. You guys know from every shipment I say I'm only going to try keeping one piece. I try my very best, but it's hard when we get something like this in. The hobbyist in me comes out and I want to keep, you know, definitely more than one. Let me show you this one here. What a cool variety. Oh, look at that. Just beautiful underwater little flowers. In Australia, when it comes to alveopores, they have some of the nicest. Check out this one over here. Also this one. And if that wasn't enough, maybe one more. That one is really cool with those little kind of black circles around a little white mouth. Just different, you know, just different and unique in its own way. Typically, we're going to frag these up. I do offer them a lot of times as colonies first, but they are expensive. Most people want frags, I find, when it comes to that stuff. Instead of spending, you know, $200-300 on a big one, they want to try, you know, $40 or $50 frag to see if they can keep it, and then you get all the enjoyment of growing it out. You know, you feel like an accomplished reefer, like a little underwater gardener. Over here we have some nice toadstool leather coral. So again, Australia with beautiful leathers. This one's got like a bluish base with green kind of polypes. And this one here is a little underrated. I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people just think it's GSP. I call it daisy coral. I think it's got a different Latin name. It's not the same as GSP, but it's got like, it's almost as if green star polyp and flower encrusting flower pot had a baby. You get these long green stems, white mouth, and I find it's not as invasive. You can peel it back easily with your fingers. Green star polyp, sometimes when it's happy, when it's growing, it really takes off. There's a really nice flower pot off to the side, and some stunning chalice corals, Echinopora, Echinophilia, whatever you want to call them. This one is like yellow. This one has really cool striations of pink and red. Man, I'm a little colorblind, so I try my best on the photos online not to use color to describe them, because I don't want you to be disappointed if you see something in the photo. Like I see red here, but maybe it's closer to pink. Raging River, this is like reddish blue, reddish pink, but this is a type of chalice we only ever see from Australia, and really makes orders like this worth it, because you're just not going to find that specific like variety of chalice anywhere else in the world, and the contrast is really nice. When red against blue, we don't find too often in corals. This is kind of funky. Not the most striking, like I guess it is bright, but not super popular. I don't know why my Radeon just turned off. Never mind, we're back. Okay, orange pavona. I think they also call this cactus coral. It's just got a really neat growth structure. Like, I can see why they call it cactus, but something I wouldn't typically order, something that's not going to sell super fast, but for coral, I call them the coral connoisseur, someone that's just after something kind of weird and different, that's into like these freaky, unusual, underrated, underappreciated kind of corals. I think this is definitely one of them, along with that daisy one I just showed you. And this is something we really don't get too often, only from Australia and only from one part. This is the Symphilia wilsoni, and this is, I don't know, it's been a couple years since we've had any. Really cool colors. We're bordering on 4 or 5 colors. You know that I try and avoid the word rainbow as often as I can here in the store, but if we wanted to use the word rainbow, we're getting close to it with these. Like, I can see oranges, greens, yellows, purples, maybe even some blues in there, and they're really nice. But I'm still gonna reserve that word rainbow. I don't like using it. It doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't add value. They're not really rainbow corals. There's very few out there. I think Rainbow Dynamite Chalice is one that I'm happy to use it, because it really is rainbow when it grows out. Rainbow Incinerator, because that's the name of it, but it's really just incinerator. It's just red and green. I don't know why they call it rainbow. And you know what? It really just hurts you guys in the end to use words like ultra and rainbow, because we're going to charge more money if you guys accept it. Just if we would all just band together and sign a petition not to use these words anymore, I think it would be better for the entire hobby. But speaking about ultra rainbows, check out this Scully right here. I don't really keep up too much with the Scully names. Is it a candy bleeding apple master or something? I don't know. Buy it. Just go through the store and put some earplugs on, and don't buy stuff based on names. Buy it based on what you like and what kind of falls into your price range. Man, I gotta go back to the Wilsoni for one more second. They're just so cool. So neat. They look kind of like an acan and like an open brain or Symphilia had a love child. They are aggressive, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure I tried putting a group together and that did not work. But regardless, they're still super nice. Some more Alveoporas. Stunning chalice, like so bright, so yellow, and some long tentacle plate corals, which I haven't seen in a long time. These get a rap online for being difficult. I've never had trouble keeping these, so I guess everyone's tank is different. Some really funky zoanthids, some cool varieties here. I think they've grown these out on disc, so they're actually cultured, which is always nice. That Alveopora that I am in love with. Some Acanthophilia, so this variety, they have blue or blue kind of green, sorry, no motion sickness over here. This we only see out of Australia as well. So that's part of the cool part about ordering from them, is you're going to get a lot of corals that you wouldn't see from other oceans. They're native to the Great Barrier Reef, like Scolimia australensis. I think it even has almost Australia in the name, in the Latin name of the coral. Some flower pots, this funky little one here, and then some plate corals. Not long tentacle, not really short tentacle. These we just call plate corals, so nice orange ones. This has very nice contrast with the purple and green. And then open brain, but on the smaller variety, again, almost mini size, which is nice because we can charge a lot less too. They're like 60 or 70 Canadian. What would that be in US? Maybe 40 bucks, 40 to 50 bucks for an open brain coral. A lot of the corals here are a lot less expensive when I compare them to US prices. Carnation, if you'd like to give it a shot. I didn't even know I was ordering these, but now we have them. They got to be some of the most beautiful soft corals out there. Non-photosynthetic, so you do have to feed them. Get yourself some live Phyto and give it a shot. Same goes with the sun coral. But these, I've seen people have long-term success. These, I'm still out to lunch. I'm not sure on them. Some Blastomusa merleti. I did see some yellow Fiji leather when they came in, but they're looking like complete ass now. And ta-da! Really, the second, if the Duncan Coral was the main part of the reason, so much caffeine. The main reason, the main part of the order was the Duncan. The second part would be the acanthes, Acanthostrea lordoensis. Now I know, okay, those taxonomists out there, they're all over my case. They're banging down my door. They say, March, you got the names wrong, buddy. They're called Micromusa now, bro. It's 2024. You gotta wake up, man. Listen, I'm an old school reefer, and I'm gonna keep calling them what I want. I call them whatever the heck I want. Okay? I've been doing it when I was a youngin'. They call these 8-can lordoensis, and I'll call them 8-can lordoensis till the day I freaking die, man. Getting a little carried away there, but 8-can lord. Call them whatever you want. They're beautiful. They're easy to keep. Also a personal favorite of mine when it comes to LPS. Much like the Duncan, because the feeding response, I love feeding these, and they're gonna get super puffy in the store because we just give them so much attention, so much love, and lots of variety. And I actually asked for green. It's one of the few corals I say, please, yo man, down under, my homies, send me some green, because otherwise we end up with all orange and red, which is not to say that they're not beautiful, they're stunning, but I want the green. When it comes to acan, I want the variety. And super low light, like if you we throw these sometimes in our sump with very little light, and they're more than happy. Again, a little more of those yellow mushrooms. This is the yellow Fiji, but it's not showing its color under the blue light, and this is why it's become rare and expensive, because it's just hard to ship. I want to show you a couple more mushrooms over on this side. Oh, I didn't even see these blastomusas. Hello, tons of blastos, very cool varieties. A thriving aptasia. Show me another coral channel out there that's gonna show off his aptasia in his tank. What is wrong with me? Okay, and then some orange rhodactis mushrooms that are just fire. I'm definitely gonna keep one of these and add it to my little growing collection over here in this tank. If you saw anything in today's video that you want, most of it's going to end up on the site shortly. We're working through it today the best we can to add them, but it does take time to take photographs of each and every single one. So you can always screenshot us, and then we can give you a price, and we can send them your way if you live in Canada. If you live in the US, it ain't going to happen. It's there's too much paperwork involved. I guess technically, if it's a soft coral and you really want it, and you want to pay $100 US shipping for one frag, I can't have any live rock on it. Technically, I could send you some zoas, or I can send you anything soft that's not covered by the CITES of CITES, the Convention on Endangered Trade of I don't know. You know what? That coffee is highly effective, and I think that's when it's time to say goodbye. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something. I hope you had fun. I hope to see you in Germany, and we'll see you back here on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Au revoir.